3, 2, 1.
Oh, we're on. We've got to figure out some kind of thing to say.
Like, hello, welcome.
You know, I don't like you very much. Oh, hi.
Well, welcome to the stream, everyone. I'll give it to Rowan to talk about what they're doing today.
You put me on the spot, I don't like it. I'm painting one of the leg pieces for the Shiori cosplay, the big shin guards. They were a pain in the behind to make, so I hope that they're a little easier to paint. Oh, and I told Meg I'd send the link to her, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
There's no one here, so.
Oh,
there was people here.
Billy, Rager says good evening. Good evening, Billy.
You've just got me staring at my phone right now. I'm sorry, I'm being unhelpful and unentertaining. Welcome, hi. Why is it still on my face?
Would you want it to be on me? Because
Yeah.
it can be on me.
Well, yeah, you're adorable. I love you.
Repping our Roguescaper.
Nope.
Not Roguescaper. Rye Guy.
Good.
It started with an R.
Good job.
Rye Guy Play Games shirts that we bought. I got Sonlin, and Rowan is repping.
I am is enough.
Yeah, it needs to go down a little bit. Yeah.
I am's enough. So I love this shirt. It
Bill-
is awesome.
Billy just said he loves our content.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. So this is a little more like a chill kind of chat thing. Ask questions, hang out with us as Rowan is working on cosplay and stuff.
Basically just forcing me to work on it, or else I won't.
Yeah. So feel free to ask questions, hang out with us. Because we'll be here hanging out.
I'm moving the palette.
Oh, Tails is in the chat.
Hello, Tail.
Listen to our interview today. That rogue.
Yes,
made.
rogue.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun to interview, to do the interview, and then also to see it done. That was a great time.
Listen, I love that he left all of our random banter in at the very end. Like, that, you can't, I don't think you can do a Hexala showcase without our random banter.
I feel like sometimes you're more funny when you're candid than when you're actually trying to be funny.
Are you saying me or just you as in,
No,
in general?
like the humans as a
Okay,
thing.
good.
Because like that was completely candid.
Yeah, because, his son ripped some cords out or something, so he had to leave. We were still filming.
Tails said, I followed the same principle when it came to editing TOV. I streamed me working to hold myself accountable, and then we showed up.
Yeah, but we ensure that you get nothing done now.
And then we started talking about food.
Good times.
So how did that work out for you?
Be nice.
But I enjoy talking about food. Food is a good time.
See, the fastest way to get Adam to do something is free food.
I do appreciate me some good food. Good free food.
So this thing is large and unwieldy and annoying.
Do you want to talk about what it is exactly?
This is the, if you've looked at the model or the concept art for, I don't know why I said concept art, the actual card art for the promo Shiori, she has these large shin guards and that is what this is, the right one. It wasn't hard to build, annoying to build. So
Tails goes, you guys are still planning for ScapeCon? Yes, we are. And free food works with a lot of guys. Yes, it does. Actually, that's a good point. How is the ScapeCon food? Because we did buy the tickets with that included meals. So, looking forward to eating. But I just want to have my expectations set correctly for ScapeCon.
HeroScape? Yeah, food. Uh-huh.
HeroScape and food.
You're such a
I've actually so there's a board game bar that's around us that I haven't told Rowan. So this is, but we looked at it the other day.
Forged, I think it's
yeah,
called.
Forged, and I was thinking, maybe I could contact them and try and do a learn to play or escape to HeroScape as somebody that helped me on Reddit, branded as there, because they have a lot of space. They have beer.
They do events.
My cards are sleeved, so I don't have to worry about spillage. But
your cards.
Our cards.
There we
our
go.
Cards.
Hair in my face.
Okay, Tails is telling us it's pretty good. The ScapeCon food, any diet restrictions, make them clear to Mike ahead of time. Okay, thank you.
You said thank you like you have diet restrictions.
Well, I mean, I'm thanking for the information.
I know, I'm just laughing. One of my favorite pastimes is to make fun of you, darling. Don't you know this?
Billy said, did you say beer? I'm assuming you meant, yes, say. Did you say beer? Yes, I did say beer. We're in the Columbus, Ohio area, so that might be a little out of the way. But I did have people on the last Escape to HeroScape sessions be like, I was just really slow about putting the advertising out for it, so nobody had time to really get to the event. We had one guy show up that we knew beforehand that
yes.
we conned into coming, but people are like, yeah, they were pretty receptive to driving a couple hours for the event.
Next time we just have to advertise more.
Or a little sooner.
Yeah. See, I hate when I have to wait for dry time. This is why I bring extra things to paint. This is the belt buckle, essentially, and it goes on the belt. So the back I have it carved open to put two magnets in to magnet onto the front of the belt. And now I need to look and see what color it's supposed to be because I forgot. Some shade of purple, I'm sure.
I hope it's purple, because I don't think you have any other colors.
I do, they're just all upstairs.
Oh, that's fair. I guess you could use pearl acryl.
Yeah, I could.
Any port in a storm.
But I don't think I want to use the Pro Acryl on cosplay. It's not made for that one, love. Okay, I was right. It was supposed to be the base color. Oh, hi.
Hello.
I didn't see you there.
I just press buttons until it gets to the camera angle that I want.
So it just spins around?
Because the tooltip to tell me where it's going doesn't tell me soon fast enough.
And you're impatient?
Yeah.
So instead of waiting to see what is the right one, you'll just spend the time to watch it spin in circles.
Yeah, basically. That is the way.
Good to know. Good to know. Making round objects is not my specialty when it comes to HT foam. Learning and getting better all the time. We weren't all born artists.
I know, I wasn't. I'm still amazed that I was able to output the logo that we have.
I think it's lovely. So, I have my little rivets over here, and I was gonna paint them, okay? But they need to be painted the light lavender, and I've got purple in my hand, and that's just gonna be all kinds of messy.
I mean, your hands will dry.
I mean, they're already dry.
I don't think there will be much transfer problems there, personally, but that's up to you.
I mean, it's just paint. You can always paint over it.
Billy in the chat says, those t-shirts are so freaking cool. Yes, they are. I agree. They are awesome.
It's Stuff by Hags on Etsy. It's Rye Guy Plays Games Etsy store. They're super cool, and I love it. And all of them are in like the, old comic book style of art.
Yeah, and these come in a lot of different colors as well as there's there's at least 20 to 40 designs that you can choose from.
And I think there are stickers and mugs and all sorts of other things as well.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I'm honestly just vibing to the music you picked.
Yeah, it's literally just the top playlist of royalty-free music that just plays.
Corporate vibes. Why can I not? I cannot screw the lid on. Okay. Got it. See, this is what happens when you use cheap, crappy Amazon brushes. I gotta work the dry brush to be, usable.
I thought the worse the brush, the better it was for being a dry brush.
No, sorry, I guess that did not make sense. What I was saying is that when the brush itself is dry and I put it into the water, I have to work to make it flexible. These are very, very cheap brushes. These two pink ones are actually brushes that came with a silicone mat that your cousin got me. And, yeah, I wanted the mat. The brushes came with it.
Billy says, sweet action. There are so very many creative folks in the Heroescape community. Yes, there are. There's Tails, who is in the chat with us, Roadscaper, Rye Guy, Sir Heroescape, Derek's Hobbies and Games,
Joe
Crazy. No, he's not. Oh, he's not crazy. He's Joe Crazy. I was like, his name's not Joe. I was like, yeah, it is. I'm not crazy. I'm Joe Crazy.
I'm proud of you, darling.
But yeah, don't click away from this stream, but afterwards, feel free to peruse. But we're one of many in this community.
Here's to hoping I color matched correctly to the paint I had already done on the other set of rivets.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I bought the first set of rivets because they're supposed to go on the skirt. Bought them off Amazon, realized that there wasn't enough of those. They look similar enough. Realized that there weren't enough of those, so then I went ahead and I bought another set, but then painted the first one anyway because there was no reason in waiting. They look good enough.
I think they look pretty good.
Yeah. It's not my job to color match.
I think it is your job to color match.
I do not get paid to color match.
We're gonna go silent for a second. Yeah, I need to figure out. There is I'm using a little box to take the mic input and sometimes it'll just get really crackly in the earbud, like in the headphones. And I think it's with the box and not. It could be with the laptop, but I'm thinking it's with the actual interface. But sometimes when that happens, we'll go silent for a few seconds while I unplug it and plug it back in, like a true IT person does.
It's honestly the only real solution, isn't it?
For now.
I love when I'm painting these and I turn it and I see the few spots that I didn't get great coverage with the primer, and I'm like, hope the paint sticks, because I'm not redoing it.
There's nothing worse than like, especially when we have some miniatures that aren't glossed over, and you like pick them up and the paint just kind of rubs off.
Ugh. Yeah. That's why I made sure to start clear coating all of the ones all the game pieces that I did when I painted all the unmatched stuff. I just painted my nails and I'm going to accidentally repaint them. Oh no! Ah! Panic. I accidentally flipped them over.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's fine. That's why the parchment paper's there. See, I use these streams to be productive and force myself to do things, but I think it works out better for me than it does for Tails. A, because Adam is looking at the chat and doing all of that, and B, to me, painting is far more mindless than animating ever will be.
There's some editing that I can do that's pretty mindless. Like shot picking, where like after the rough cut is done, shot picking is pretty mindless.
Could you hold up a full conversation while shot picking?
No, but I can listen to my audiobook. So I don't think I could shot pick and read. That would be a little bit too much of like, I need the visual information to pick the shot.
Well, yeah, you have to look at it, darling.
But I think I could talk. So if somebody was reading chat to me, I think I could respond if shot picking. But I don't think anybody would want to watch me shot pick, to be perfectly honest.
They wouldn't. I've seen you shot pick. I left.
Yeah, it's very boring. Very boring work.
I am surprised how many of these I am painting with like a single dip of my brush into the paint.
Yeah?
Because I haven't gone back in after I mixed it up.
No double dipping.
You think you're funny?
I do think I'm funny.
I don't think anybody else thinks you're funny, dear.
Oh well. No chat backing me up. Unfortunate.
There's a reason for that. I promised you I wouldn't break into random song, and I am a liar. So, sorry for that, dear.
It's okay.
I absolutely love that Rogue kept in the part where I just said, oh, I know how to say bad words in sign language. And then the part where I said wormy apple.
Let's not do that. Alright, Tails. It was easier to edit years ago when there was a lack of audience. Now I'm getting a little more well known. Yeah, yes you are. You're definitely one of the pillars of kind of the YouTube community, if you were to ask me, because you've been here and you've been kind of faithful to the game, even after it was out of production, and doing stuff and keeping it alive.
These things are so tiny and minute, I hate them. Are we even sure the skirt needs all these rivets?
If you want it to be authentic, it does. Authentic.
This cosplay is going to be about as accurate as a kindergartner drawing a giraffe. Like, we're gonna get close. It's gonna be semi-recognizable.
I think the true Heroescape fans will understand.
So Adam, tell us more about your T channel.
Oh goodness. Man, it was I felt like it was a good idea, but then like so there's some teas have some teas have a very long history, and like you can talk about them, and there's interesting things about that you could make a longer form video about. But I personally don't. I could have done the research, but for like the one tea I started with, which was Florida Sunshine, like it's a cool tea to shoot, and so I got that where Rogue showed this really cool like zoom in shot on a rotating table. I got some really good shots from that, but it was a whole lot of kind of the film side. I thought it was pretty good, but the whole
actual content?
I don't know. I don't think it would have worked.
And thus we abandoned it.
Tails said it will be 10 years next January.
Ooh.
I actually had this thought coming downstairs of how, like, thinking about when Heroescape was first released and like what the world was like then. Like I had this memory of me on a warm summer night going out to Blockbuster with my mother and picking out movies to watch at home.
Your mother let you go to Blockbuster?
Yeah, we would each get a movie, and we would have an evening of movies.
Isn't that when your brother would watch Princess Bride every day for like 7 months straight?
No, that was not.
That's a different time?
And Tail said tea, smiley faced. And believe it or not, I have a cooking channel and made 4 videos. I have actually seen the cooking channel. I forget which one I watched though. But I have seen it. I did watch it. I am. So I did not have like cable or TV growing up at all. We had Blockbuster, and I had YouTube. So I am a very big YouTube person for a very long time. So I watch a lot of YouTube. Not as much as I used to, though. When I was younger, I had like they used to have on YouTube like how much, and they might have it again, but how much YouTube you would have watched like over like in your channel's lifetime. Mm-hmm. And I was at like 30,000 hours, which
good job.
I think would actually have been a percentage of the entire YouTube catalog at that point. Nah.
You're so weird. Homework? Nah. YouTube? Absolutely.
Yeah, 100% YouTube all the way.
My once blue nails are becoming purple. Getting purple tipped nails.
But Heroescape was released in 2004. So I would have been in 4th grade? That sounds right. Now, can I remember 4th grade? Would it be embarrassing if I said I couldn't remember 4th grade?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would?
No.
Do you remember 4th grade?
I mean, that's a loaded question for me.
I remember field day. Like,
see, the thing is, I'm real bad at remembering like what things happened what specific year. I remember the teachers that I had, but I had those teachers for 2 years in a row, 4th and 5th grade. My 3rd grade teacher I had for 3 years, like, you know, so I have a hard time remembering specifically this was 4th grade. I do know that in 4th grade I read the entire Percy Jackson series, and I read the entire Inkheart series, and started the Aragon series. Oh, what a time to be alive.
yeah, I was, yeah. When in 4th grade, HeroScape wasn't even on my mind. Maybe it's because I didn't have TV to get the advertisements for it. Maybe that's why I missed out.
Your mother would have never let you play HeroScape?
It's a board game, maybe. Maybe. It has historical figures.
Your mother would have never let you play HeroScape, be honest, dear love.
I don't know. I don't think we would have afforded HeroScape.
Don't know how my family did. I honestly think that a lot of it was Rodney, my dad's friend. Was how we got a lot of it. Is coat 1 dry before I go in with coat 2? Dry enough for me to be happy about it. It's so large and weird. Who made it this way?
Your legs.
I didn't design it.
That's fair. Oh, there's a fun story of how we made this, actually. You walked up to me one day and it was like, Adam, will you saran wrap and then duct tape my legs? I'm sitting here going like, what do you want done? Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so a really, really common cosplay technique for making patterns, especially for armor, is to, I'm gonna put that down, like wrap the body part in saran wrap and then strips of duct tape and take a Sharpie and draw out what you want the thing to look like. So then you're able to cut it off and then you have a pattern piece. And it was very difficult to do that to my own leg. And it was hard enough when I did it for my arm, for the arm pieces. But without doing that, it would have been nearly impossible for me to make this on my own. Like,
we're gonna go silent for a second.
came back just as I had to burp. It's happening way more often than it did last time.
I know. We got super lucky last time
Didn't
with
do it
it.
a single time?
No, it didn't. At least the output isn't like the effect is only on our end, and it just we lose a little bit of vocal time.
Because if you were to leave the buzz going, I would lose more than vocal time. I'd lose my sanity.
I probably would as well lose my sanity.
My favorite thing about base coding is I can just be so haphazard with it.
Yeah, because you're just gonna go in again with the
Yeah. Especially with like a large thing like this, that most of it's going to be the exact same color. I can just slap paint on, and as long as I get it into the crevices, I do not need to be delicate or fancy. I can just throw paint on and then let the details happen later. These straps on it are annoying. Who put them there? Don't say it.
You did.
Adam?
You are the master of your own demise.
If I wanted to get sassed, I don't know where that sentence was going. If I wanted to be yelled at, I'd just go on Twitter.
What's the big Twitter fight now?
I don't know.
You're gonna.
I never go on Twitter.
This is gonna ruin the tour.
This is gonna ruin the tour. What tour?
The world tour.
I'm so happy that I taught you that. No, I am on a different side of Twitter that I only go on sometimes.
What side is that?
Are you really gonna make me?
Oh, is it that side?
Okay, no, that makes it sound so much worse. It's Dan and Phil. It's a couple of British YouTubers. Like, don't make it sound like it's anything weird. It's just two gay British guys. It's fine. Darn, dang it, Adam.
Yeah, spilling the secrets.
Making me sound like a creep and a weirdo. So when I did the arm gauntlets, I originally had... So I had to mix paint to get this color because I didn't have it. I originally had the two paint things as... I didn't mix them. They were two separate things, and I would get one on one side of the brush and one on the other. Because I'm like, okay, you know, it's supposed to be some kind of leather, I think. I can get some texture and coloration in it doing that. And it just ended up mixing anyway.
No.
So, like, I was able to go through and get the colors and textures that I wanted. But it was just, I might as well mix it beforehand. I don't know why I'm working so hard to get a solid base on these edge pieces when they're going bright purple.
I don't know either.
Consistency, Adam.
Making up for the possible lack of primer.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, bubbles.
Oh yeah, no, there was a weird bubble that formed. I don't know if you can even see it here. Is it even visible?
A little bit.
Darn, don't tell me that. I don't know if it was the primer, if it was the glue, something random. But so this armor now has chinks in it. Whoop-de-whoop. I continue to slouch more and more. I keep saying, I'm gonna paint with good posture. Nobody paints with good posture. And if they say they do, they're a liar.
Slouch more and more, and the mic gets further and further away.
You don't want to hear me talk anyway.
I do. I do want to hear. I like these mics. But I feel less superior because there's apparently a industry standard mic now that everybody uses. And I have these mics that I bought 4 years ago. Because I was going to start... I wanted to start a podcast.
Was it about tea?
No. Oh, no, it wasn't a podcast. It was a... It was video game streaming. And it was Wasted Wednesdays, I think, was going to be
and Teetotaler Tuesdays.
Yeah.
With... Who was that with?
Jacob, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was with Jacob or the other one.
Yeah. So it was basically drinking and playing video games.
Which is, like, against Twitch's guidelines, so...
Is it really?
Yeah, it's against their policies.
Oh, well. It would have been tea. It would... Wasted Tea Wednesdays.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. I brought on like a lot of things to work on so that I didn't have to just like wait for things to dry. I could just move from one thing to the other, and now I'm overwhelmed. Good job, Rowan. You did this to yourself.
We have a cameo of our favorite paint cup, Risky Sips. You've moved it out of frame. But thanks.
You're welcome. One of these days I'm going to have Safe Sips as the water bottle that I have.
And the mysterious yellow liquid.
It's lemonade, calm down. Adam has a large water bottle that he wrote Safe Sips on so that he knows it's not full of paint water.
And it's not. It's safe.
For sipping?
Yes.
Bada bada. I feel like I'm way less talkative this time around.
I feel like I don't have... Should write a show doc.
Be prepared? Who does that? What are we, Mufa? Nope. What are we, Scar?
Yeah, what do we want to do? What do we want to talk about?
Absolutely nothing at all.
I'm looking up major events in 2004.
That's not a good topic.
It's not?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to weigh in on it.
Oh. Well, not weigh in, but... Did you know that President George Bush wins re-election in 2004?
I did, actually. Is this dry enough? It's dry. That's the second time that I've hit myself.
Are you getting paint on my mics?
No, it was my glasses, darling.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the second time I've done that. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard
Oh, was
it.
it loud?
Not super loud, but I heard it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get over it.
Oh, Facebook was founded in 2004.
Oh yeah, I knew that one too.
I'm a little offended that they don't have HeroScape was released in the list. Martha Stewart goes to prison.
Oh, I didn't know that was 2004.
Yeah, it's been a while. Rogues in the chat says that's coming out great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, these are the leg pieces.
This is a singular piece, so it's a leg piece.
This is the leg piece. I feel like we could put all the pieces in a KFC bucket, like a bucket of Shiori. Legs, shoulders, wrists.
It's arms, dear.
Oh yeah, they're arm guards.
Yeah.
Gauntlets.
Not to pat myself on the back, but I always love how it as soon as I do just the little this bit, I love what detailed it gets. See?
I need to. Now we can see.
I'm showing you, Adam.
Oh well, I'm
They saw
showing.
me do it.
I'm showing everyone.
Not to pat myself on the back or anything, but I'm always super proud because it always works out better than I think it does. I'm gonna put the thing back down now, so have fun moving the camera again. It just creates a little bit of, in my opinion, just some well-needed texture. That's the difference between doing something like this and miniatures. Miniatures most of the time have the texture. It's just bringing it out. I have to kind of make my texture here, and I don't like it. But the things we do for our art, right?
Yeah.
That's too much.
Apparently our stream went from good, excellent status to poor. I don't know what happened.
You move the camera around a lot?
That might do it actually, because it you have to send a little bit more data for that. Oh well. Please let us know if our quality's bad.
See, when I did the arm pieces, I made sure to have one of the shoulder pieces by me so I could make sure I matched everything, but I didn't remember what I did, so now I'm just gonna wing it.
That is the way.
Do whatever makes me happy. And I think so far these are turning out better than the arm pieces. Which the arm pieces, I'm gonna admit now, I probably will not wear for most of anything. Because, they're uncomfortable. They were the first ones, one of the first pieces I did, and I didn't do them well. And I just don't like having big bulky pieces on my arm. So, I'll put them on for pictures and such. Not that anyone would ever want a picture with me in this cosplay. Ain't no one gonna know who I am.
I think people will know. I think people know that you're Shiori. Especially since they've been primed with all of oh, this is the exclusive figure, and her card has been plastered everywhere.
I thought it was like just a really cool design, outfit, character. I hand sewed a stupid face mask for that character instead of just buying one like a normal person. And I had to hand sew the skirt. Which still isn't finished, by the way.
Oof.
How is the paint job looking out on camera?
I think it looks pretty good.
Okay. Is it giving the effect that I want?
It's a little streaky currently. Like it's super not blended. What?
Kind of. Okay.
Is that the point?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, then it's going for exactly what you want.
And because then afterwards, I'm gonna go in with the darker paint and do shading and stuff. Dang it.
Yeah, maybe our stream did kind of go bad because it says we have 0 viewers, so.
Or they just all left us. That's a possibility
that is
too.
Possible
People have lives.
That is possible that everyone left us, which is fine.
That was too much. I am messing everything up. It got in my head. Now I'm all freaked out.
It's sad because I was going to sing more praises of Roguescaper for the great video today.
It was a great video and it was a good time, like a really fun watch. And I don't like watching videos of myself, so that's saying something. That was dumb. I mixed the wrong paint in the wrong order, so now my light has dark in it instead of my dark having light. I am panic painting because I screwed up and I don't know how to fix it, and I should just put it down and wait for it to dry, but I can't do that. Okay, we're gonna do that. Just go into some other parts and work on those. Control what you can.
I've always wished I was better at art.
Me too. Me, not you. Did not mean it like that, darling. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Maybe they all just don't like us.
That's possible.
I wouldn't like me.
I don't think it's likely, but
I wonder if our stream just went weird and it just threw people out, or we're just not.
yeah, it looks like a sudden drop, so maybe they thought we cut out and okay. And we just need to hold out until Ken Varga comes, and then we end the stream. I feel so bad about that. It's like, hey guys, I'm here. And it's like, well, we're leaving.
Bye.
So, especially he's so nice in the comments. Like he comments on almost every video.
Such a nice person. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's still bad, but I'm gonna be able to salvage it, I think. No, it's still bad.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's awful. Like it does not look the same as the other sections at all.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I think what I need to do is just rebase it.
Yeah.
It's just paint. Greatest art advice I was ever given. It's by a summer art teacher. And she literally said, "It's just paint. Get over it. Just paint over it." She taught a painting class and she threw out all of the pencils. No one was allowed to draw on the canvases. They had to just go in and paint it. Because it's just paint. And that has helped me through so much because I am very much a bit of a perfectionist and very hard on myself with things. And if things don't go my way, I tend to just give up. But, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I can just repaint it and go again. Which I think was great. It was wonderful advice and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. Because if I try rebasing it while it's wet or even sticky, it's just gonna rip the paint up.
Yeah.
This is the thing I hate most about paints because I'm so impatient. And I mixed the dark paint into my light paint, so now I gotta get more light paint out. It is a good thing I bought more of these because I'm running out of this.
So is that the replacements or is that the old stuff?
It's the old stuff. I showed you the replacements.
Yeah, it's a big bottle. That's why I was like, did they give you small bottles too?
No, I bought this stuff in preparation of being out of it.
Okay.
Because I knew I was running out of it. So I bought stuff so that I didn't have to halt my process.
That's fair.
Because what I have left is not going to last me through this and those and this and the next piece.
Tails came back.
Hello.
So recap of what you missed is we're deciding the top section over by the Hexala logo is going to get a rebase because it doesn't really match the other sections. So you're all caught up.
Thanks. I gotta pull out my reference photo again for my belt piece.
Which the belt piece is over here. Where on Shiori? It's on the belt, right? So the waist section.
That's what a belt piece is, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Why?
I was just asking.
I don't know if I showed it. It's got 2 holes where magnets are gonna go in the back. Don't judge the back of my pieces. Nobody sees the back. But 2 magnets are gonna go in the back. That way it can magnet to the belt. That way I didn't have to glue it to the belt, and then I can reuse the belt for things. And I love magnets, especially in cosplay. They just make everything so much easier.
I do too.
I did a Starfire cosplay, and I had the gem right in the center of her chest, which I 3D printed like a hemisphere?
Half a sphere.
Hemisphere.
Yes, I guess that is.
Yeah, 3D printed one of those, resin printed it, painted it what I needed, and then drilled out the back of it, put a magnet in it, and then in the shirt sewed a little pocket into it to where a magnet's at, and it lasted me all day at oh gosh, which one is that? Not now. The other one, the one in Dayton.
Gem City.
Gem City. Yeah, that lasted me all day through Gem City. You won an award for that cosplay. It was great. Oh, an award. What? Why are you laughing at me?
We got a comment from Rogue that made me laugh.
Is he making fun of me?
No, cosplays are like Christmas trees, and don't look at the back.
Yes. Never look at the back. I think I said the same thing about I made a belt or altered a belt for that Starfire cosplay, and I sewed clasps onto it, and I'm like, don't look at it.
Our Christmas tree was by a window, so there wasn't really ever a section we didn't plaster with things.
Oh, which window was it?
At the front living room's window.
Where the cat tree is?
Yeah.
Okay. Ours was my home had 12-foot windows. And we had 50-foot ceilings. So we always got like an 8 or 9-foot Christmas tree because anything else looked tiny.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know it was an old church. I didn't grow up in a mansion because it sounded like that as I was saying it.
It did. We had 9-foot ceilings and
50-foot ceilings, 9-foot Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, 50-foot ceilings.
But anything else, if it was 7 foot or smaller, it looked like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree in our living room. But yeah, don't look at the back. My brother had this bad habit of climbing under the tree and placing them up and under it. Guess who had to fish those ornaments out? It was me, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Wow, you had us in suspense.
Oh, did you tell Rogue how much we enjoyed his video?
Yeah, well, I think in the stream I've said his praises. I think this is the third time now of how great that the interview video really went. But I did write the comment as well on the video.
I'm just happy he didn't use the clip that we sent him that showed how short I actually am.
Yeah, you didn't use the whole T video.
Listen, no one needs to know how short I am, okay?
Yeah, we talked about that. So a little backstory on the T video. I had all the clips. I never edited the video together because I took all the shots and then I was like, this is not going to be good, and I didn't even try editing it. So that edited video that we sent you is literally, we finished the interview. I was like, I have all the shots. Why not try and edit it together to see what would turn out?
And then we realized that it was even more boring than we thought it would be.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure he watched us go, it smells nice.
Yeah.
What was the one thing? No, honey. It's the word is amber. The color is amber.
Tails says, no one needs to know until ScapeCon.
Platforms. No. Yeah, then they'll know how short I am. And then they'll see how short I am in comparison to you.
Yeah.
Because when we sit next to each other, we look pretty similar in height. Nobody knows that you're like a foot taller than me. There, I outed myself. Everyone's gonna know eventually. I don't know how tall they all thought I was to begin with, but yeah.
We'll only be seated during ScapeCon playing HeroScape.
I will just scoot around in my chair. Just take my chair everywhere. I'm not standing up.
But yeah, I'm super excited for ScapeCon.
Checking to make sure I didn't get any paint on my shirt. That would have been a travesty. I'm good at getting paint all over my hands and good at not getting paint on my shirt, but I don't want to get paint on the shirt. I love this shirt.
Dan, welcome to the chat. Says, oh, sitting height is different from seated height. I'm not even joking. It is.
100%.
It's one of those life truths that nobody talks about.
We stand up and Adam becomes a foot taller than me, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. It is a whole foot. It's 10 inches, but it's like 11 inches.
Yeah, it's a bit.
And I always forget how short I am until I see a video or a photo of us standing next to each other.
Tails saying, I'm a head taller than my wife. NBD. I don't know that acronym.
Now, the nice thing about having a very, very, very tall partner is that hugs are the best. For me. I mean, he just has to put up with me.
I mean...
Completely encapsulated. It's wonderful. I'm still waiting for this thing to... It's still sticking.
Dan, it's fair. It's torso, no legs. But with legs, it's different.
He gets me.
No big deal is MBD.
Oh. Okay, but like a head and a foot are two different body parts. But it's a lot. It's a lot. And I hate how I get reminded that I'm short all the time.
I guess the saying he's a foot taller could have two meanings. What if I have small feet?
Listen, I am the shortest of 5 siblings. I am the second oldest, and one of them is 14. So...
We're gonna go silent for a second.
that information what you will. I need it to not be sticky, because if I try and rebase it while it's sticky, I will peel the other layers of paint up. So now I'm just going to stare into the camera like a mimsy, nope, like Nifty trying to film a commercial.
Dan with the or a Subway sandwich taller.
You're $5 taller.
$5 taller.
I like that.
So, interesting, I don't know, this made me think about it, though, was, I don't know how Subway does it, but...
Excuse me.
But, if you get a large sandwich, or a half of a sandwich at Jimmy John's, right, their big one is, I think, a foot, right, but their bread is 13 inches. Because they're so primed for time that they kind of just eyeballed halfway, and you can't be upset that you got less than your 6 inches. Let's cut that.
Love, this is live. You can't cut it.
Rogue says, every time I eat Subway, I feel a foot heavier.
Listen, this is what happens. You get us all together, and we all devolve into food talk every time.
It is food talk.
Earlier, I made wonderful bison burgers, and I'm just gonna pat myself on the back. They were amazing. A little spicy. I went a little overboard with the cayenne.
It's really easy to overdo cayenne.
Especially when I also used paprika. Like, they kind of build.
Dan with, no, this is valid. I'm assuming with the Roguescapers, I feel a foot heavier. I have a story with cayenne. I was learning to cook when I was a kid, and I was making soup, and I don't even remember what kind of soup it was, but I was like, let's add a little cayenne. And a little cayenne to me was a full capful of cayenne pepper into the soup.
Why did your mom have cayenne in the...
I don't know.
Your mother doesn't know what spicy is.
Yeah, like, my family growing up thought pepper was spicy. Like, we were that kind of family. I have gotten better at my spice tolerance, but even now, I feel like it was probably at least 3 tablespoons of cayenne into a pot of soup.
I still think about the time your mom asked me, like, who does, like, the cleaning or the cooking, because we were just talking, because your mom is a housewife, right? Not that she's ever told me to be, she just enjoys it, but we were just talking, and she asked who does the cooking, and I was like, oh, Adam does most of it. And she's like, he can cook? I never taught him how to do that.
She didn't.
College, sink or swim.
She says she didn't teach me how to cook, but really, yeah, I learned a lot.
You learned because you refused to eat ramen in college.
Yeah.
At all costs.
But I meant when I was a kid. Like, I watched her cook all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was definitely, I tried, no, I didn't try and help in the kitchen when I was younger. I was kind of a flighty kid with, like, you know, if you can't be found, you can't be doing chores.
You were the youngest. You got away with everything.
Basically. So that's what but I did help. Food chores were, hey, Adam, here's this bowl of beans, green beans, and go snap off the ends so that people don't have them. Shucking corn, that was a job for the Adam. I actually enjoyed shucking corn, and I like eating corn. So
coincidence?
A coincidence. I thought
you left all of the corn puns in South Dakota at the Corn Palace.
Yeah.
Apparently I was wrong.
Oh, the Corn Palace. That was a good day. You didn't enjoy that day?
It was a good day. That sounds so ambiguous and so ominous.
But it's an interesting place.
No, the Corn Palace is so cool.
It's every year they, we didn't live in South Dakota. Dan asked, oh my goodness, you lived in South Dakota. No, we didn't live in South Dakota.
It was just a trip.
Yeah, and in 2017, we took a trip from Ohio and we took Route 66 most of the way down to Santa Monica.
Yeah, sounds correct.
And then we went up the coast to San Fran, and then we went back
to Vegas.
Vegas, and then Minnesota, and then back to Ohio.
When he is saying we, it wasn't just me and him. It was all of my siblings, my mother and him. We all went together.
Yeah.
Adam's always been a friend of the family.
I was in Madison for a year, and I visited the Corn Palace. It was super cool.
He gets it. It is cool.
Did they have a movie in the palace? I can't remember. I can't remember if we saw it or not.
The Corn Palace is cooler when you leave your punny boyfriend behind.
It's a cornucopia of jokes.
I believe the joke you said it's a poppin' good. Oh, it's poppin'.
Oh yeah. How is the Corn Palace? It's poppin'.
We have that on video.
We do.
And yet I married you anyway.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the other day when you were talking audio with your father and you were showing him the stream and he goes, well, the only thing is, like, Rowan her voice is higher than when she normally talks. Eviscerated.
Dan's asking, that sounds super fun. Did you live in Ohio? Yes, and we currently live in Ohio.
Born and raised.
We're in the Columbus area.
I should have just painted my nails purple before we started because nobody could tell that then I had purple.
That would have been so smart.
But I would have had to try and color match this with the polishes I had upstairs.
It's like that pirate joke with bring me the brown pants.
It's also a Deadpool joke.
Oh, it is a Deadpool joke.
This guy's wearing the brown pants.
Oh, nice. I did my master's in Bowling Green. Yes, Bowling Green. Well, I actually have a story about Bowling Green. So, junior into senior year, I was
college or high school, dear?
Oh, of high school.
There we go.
There is a organization called Buckeyes Boys State, and so that would have been 2012. I was selected to do it's basically a government simulation, and I was selected to kind of go and do participate in this thing, and it was at Bowling Green that year because it used to be at Ohio State, and then they moved it to Bowling Green. But I stayed in one of the halls for a week. I ran to be a judge, so I had to pass a bar exam.
Did you?
Yeah, I passed their fake bar exam. So it was a very interesting experience.
I think I once shot Bowling Green's graduation with a camera, specifically, photographer style.
Yeah.
I think I did their graduation one year. Could be wrong. Went to a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Never did Ohio State, thank God.
I miss so there we both have done stints as professional photographers. And I miss doing bid days.
Bid days were so fun.
They were so easy. It was like, okay, everyone stand over here, take a few shots, and move on with our lives.
And then you just get to watch a bunch of sorority girls be sorority girls.
Yeah.
I think I did one at UK. Is what the one that I did. It was a good time.
Dan, whoa, this sounds super immersive, like LARPing for government jobs. LOL. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. We're gonna go silent for a second.
Man, it's being real janky today.
Yeah, so the reason we go silent is because the audio interface that I'm using for the microphones and the audio will sometimes just go buzz, and it's real annoying, and so I just have to unplug it and plug it back in.
Only we can hear it.
Yeah, so it's going back to the store I bought it from eventually. Not today because I needed it, but eventually it's going to go back home, and I'm gonna get a new one. Yeah, and that's why I'm like I don't. You okay?
Yeah, I got paint on the mat.
That's why I bought the black mat.
I'm sorry, love.
It's okay.
I dropped it.
It's okay.
I got red food coloring on the mat the other day. Now I got...
It adds character.
Basically. I believe you were saying something.
Oh yeah, I was just complaining about the audio interface again, which I've done before. I'm gonna complain every time I have to unplug it and plug it back in.
You still have the receipt for that thing?
I should not need a receipt because they have I bought it from Guitar Center, so they should have me in their system.
Oh. Should have bought it from Costco.
Maybe. That would have been... Love Costco. I don't think they have these. Sometimes they have, like, computers and stuff, but...
What we got? This mic has attacked me twice today.
Yeah. The stationary mic. The glare.
There is no glare. You have no proof of the glare.
I wish I could remember what hall in Bowling Green that I stayed in, but I think I can describe it. It was the rooms were you walk in and there was like a lobby area in the room, and then each individual person had their own room, and then I think the shower was in the lobby area. So if you wanted to shower, you walked out and then you walked into like the lobby area that's still in like the room, the 4-room, and then you would walk into the shower if you wanted to shower. Because I think we were lucky because we were one of the few groups that got the one where they didn't have the shower in like the hallway. So you didn't have to do like walk to out in your like hallway of your dorm. Because I think that's like the only like dorm room experience I've ever gotten in my life.
You didn't do any dorms at Miami, did you? You had an apartment.
Yeah, I had. I was able to finagle my way out of having to pay for a dorm my first 2 years. Because normally it's mandatory.
Oh, but you did regional, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you said you were doing it from home, and then you just transferred yourself to main campus?
Yep.
Cheatsy doodle style.
Cheatsy doodle style.
It's still sticky. Maybe it's just sticky because my fingers have paint on them, but I'm not going to take any chances.
I guess you could touch something that doesn't have the paint on it.
all of these have a little stick to them. It just means that the paint's not 100% cured. I could probably, once I'm finished with this, mix the color. I know how words work. Mix the color back up and do it.
Rogan with the jokes. You're like dorm room, I've come to bargain. Like Doctor Strange. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. I hope I said that right. Because I don't know what his actual name was. It just sounded right.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so
Oh,
I'll try to explain it. I've seen Doctor Strange,
Oh, okay.
but like it didn't have a lasting impact on me.
That's fair.
I remember who I saw it with.
Was it me?
No.
Because we did do a stint where we were like, we're going to watch all the Marvel movies. And we got 3/4 of the way through.
We made it to an Avengers, the first one, and then stopped.
That's true. Because we were, I think the watch order that we were doing is we watched it in universe chronological order.
Correct.
So we watched, which is actually an interesting order to watch them, because I think most of the older movies can stand on their own as movies, but you definitely get, for me, I understood a bit more because they actually do a pretty good job of referencing things that would have happened in the correct order, if that makes sense at all.
Every end credit scene, just about, is out of order.
Yes.
Darn near. Oh, I think this is still too light. Yeah, it's too light.
Make it darker.
These caps should not be this difficult to put back on paint.
Paint drop.
You're weird.
What I've always found interesting about colors is, and it blew my mind when I learned about it, was that there's a difference between mixing light and mixing pigment. And now it, like, in my mind it makes sense, but when I was like younger, it's like, why would that matter?
This almost works to give me what I want.
Yeah.
I could blend it and get it one uniform color. I could leave it like this, I think.
Probably.
See how it dries?
Mm-hmm.
See, I always have the problem of doing what I like to call too muching. Where I go in and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and then I just too much it. You know, I just keep going and adding things until it's a garbage, muddied mess. It's a horrible problem. And I think I'm doing it now, but it's fine. Like I said, it's just paint, get over it. Consistent paint jobs, we don't know her here.
Alright, I'm thinking of changing the music because I think it's looping.
Yeah, this is like the 4th time it's played.
Yeah, so do we want Celtic traditional, Americana, B-roll, rock?
I would like to know what B-roll is, please.
Your wish is my command.
Stand back, everyone, nothing here to say. That's what I think every time somebody says that. I go straight to Dr. Horrible, and if you know what that is, you get a brownie.
Rogue, I tried to pick up some cuttlefish paints based on your recommendation, but they seem to be sold everywhere. I'm assuming sold out. That's, yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Are they, like, even on their website?
Well, you remember that around here, the lair was the only place that sold them. That's why we met the owner and Kevin. No, we met the owner.
That's true, because that store was the highest selling store.
Including his own.
Yeah, for the paint brand.
Because I sold that paint. Like nobody's business.
It's a good paint.
I'm proud of it. I'm happy with this. Gonna show it to him till he looks at it.
Yeah.
And then next I'm gonna go in with some light shading once it's dry. Just around the rivets and the edges, and then the rivets and the outer edge get lighter.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at their store online for cuttlefish, but their prices seem... Oh, they're sold out. You're right.
I wonder what happened.
And is the full Monty sold out? Yeah, they're all sold out. Strange. Maybe maybe that brand just maybe they weren't able to make it. Maybe that they're just not producing anymore. That's unfortunate because they were actually kind of fun paints.
They were. I enjoyed them a lot. Let's see if I like this or if I hate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rogue. If we remember, we can bring a bottle of cuttlefish so you can at least experience it.
That was a
EscapeCon.
sentence. We want you to experience the cuttlefish.
Experience it. Maybe we can make HeroScape. We'll bring back paint brands too.
Kevin would be eternally grateful.
Or maybe they're like, so I guess they would kind of be competing with Pro Acryl's Monuments like vibrant colors.
Yeah, because what cuttlefish has succeeded at those neons.
Yeah, so they would probably had competition there. Speed paints. Some of the speed paints are pretty vibrant.
I love playing with the speed paints. I don't use them for their intended purposes, but they're so fun to play with.
But the speed paints also kind of had a thinner consistency, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because they were meant to be an all-in-one.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of like a wash but not. What do you think about this?
I think it looks good. Yeah, let me zoom in on it so I can see it better. Is it meant to look like a rock? Or what is it meant to look like?
I don't know.
It looks like the leather below it that you were going for. So if that's what you're going for, then yes.
Okay, cool. Because it's just like, it's just a piece on a belt. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? Sorry.
It looked like you dabbed the cough, at least to me. I don't think they would have seen it, but it was like...
Yeah. It's because I was taught to cough into my elbow always.
See, it was... So, you're of... Like, when I was growing up, I was taught to cough into my hand. Like, that was where I was taught to cough.
Elbow, baby.
Yeah, and now it's like cough into, not your hand. Whatever you do, don't cough into your hand.
Your father still coughs into his hand.
It's sometimes it just gets ingrained into you, right?
Well, your father's also a cowboy when he sneezes.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! Legitimately.
Roadscaper, that'd be sweet. I might be teaching some paint lessons at ScapeCon, so would love to try it out.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Okay. One of these days I'll be happy with the mic placement. Today's not that day. But yeah. I'm trying to think. I think we have more cuttlefish than we have army painter, right?
I honestly can't remember.
Because we started with cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Remember, because they didn't have any barcodes on them, and you had to search every single paint name
Yeah.
for inventory purposes. Pretty sure he still hates us.
There was, like, oh, we want to buy 20 cuttlefish paints.
Because that's where we're starting.
Yeah.
So I think we have... Yeah. I think the only paint that we don't have anymore, because I got one and hated it, is Games Workshop.
Yeah.
I will never say anything nice about Games Workshop's paints. If you know, you know.
Yeah, people buy it, like, they're good for the audience that I think they're going for, and that's just people that want a cohesive army in the correct color.
Yeah, they work for Warhammer really well, because like they're the name of the paint literally tells you what it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah.
So it works for them because it's a nice color matching or whatever, and they have cohesion, and they don't have to worry about it. I don't like it. I don't like their consistency. I don't like their bottles.
Yeah, their bottle design is definitely flawed in my opinion.
You know what paint we've never tried? Vallejo.
Yeah, we've never tried Vallejo.
We never will try Vallejo.
Well, I mean, I might be convinced because there are a lot of people that like Vallejo.
But the patch inconsistencies.
Yeah, that is, but with so as long as you're working with small models and you're not trying, like if they're an accent color or something, and you're not going to, like, that's your base color, that is the main thing on your sculpt over a course of hundreds of minis, right? Then
that's fair.
The color,
I guess it doesn't matter because what Vallejo was with, like, teamed with Warlord Games, right? For Blood Red Skies,
yes.
Coral Seas, and
yes.
like they had matching packs.
Because they for a while were working with they were making colors for historical colors.
Which is why the batch inconsistencies was such a big deal.
Yeah. We're gonna go silent for a second.
Are you gonna complain again, or are we gonna go back to our
We
peep
are
talk?
gonna complain that the audio interface sucks, and if the
I wonder who bought it.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna feel real embarrassed if it has the same problem if I get another one to replace it.
And it's just your laptop.
Yeah, which I like. Replacing the laptop would be expensive.
Still wet.
Rogue. Vallejo is nice, middle of the road paint. A little bit better coverage compared to Army Paint or War Paints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never thought I would be back in a place discussing paint brands.
Yeah, me neither.
You know what paints we didn't ever pick up that they had was those Turbo Dork. The Chroma Shift.
Oh, those.
Oh, because
those were so cool.
And I categorically refused to let you buy them.
Why?
Because, little background, color shifting paints. My father worked on that. He basically invented it in the US. His name's on all the patents, therefore I refused to buy it. Also, like, those in particular were very annoying to work with. You had to use the correct base, the correct primer, and then you had to airbrush it in the correct way, or it didn't work.
Yes, it was a very technically hard thing to produce, but the effects that when you got it right, they were so good.
What were you gonna put it on?
I saw I think somebody did terrain in the shop, and it was the floor of some sort of building in the Chroma Shift, and it just looked really cool.
I did see somebody use it for like insect wings.
Yeah, insect wings, that was a good one for the Chroma Shift.
Haley Peer, is that her name? She made some kind of ice something or other. that she used it on. She used one of like the blue to pink ones, and
Yeah.
she used it on white, so it wasn't as.
Yeah.
It gave more of like a sparkly effect than the chroma shift, the chroma flare effect.
Because you have to prime black,
You have to airbrush.
and then you have to pray to the paint gods, and then you have to airbrush it on.
You could get it without airbrushing with painting, but you had to. So specific.
I was actually looking at airbrushes today.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was. I was trying to gauge the cost that they would be to get the whole setup.
Because what we need airbrush, compressor, and then a box.
Yeah.
The spray box
Yeah.
with the vent. I liked the one. Did you look at Reapers or what did you look at?
I looked at Monument actually sells airbrushes now.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I've always been happy with kind of the Monument brand.
Which is so funny because we have the Monument primers.
Yeah.
Make sure we shake all of that up when we pick it
Although
up again.
I hate so I love the Monument black primer. Like, it is a fantastic primer, or at least it was, because they do batch updates. But
The one that we have.
in 2020,
Nope.
2022, when we were doing where we were painting a lot, the black primer was great. The white primer would clog up an airbrush in 30 seconds. Like, no joke. Like, I would have to, like, I would get maybe a couple Zenithal passes through, and then it would just clog, and it was awful.
I never had that problem. However, I knew you were having the issue, so I would always put a drop of thinner, of the Army Painter thinner into it.
You know, that would have been smart.
Just a single drop to like 3 or 4 drops of the primer, and it worked. It fixed all of those clogs. That airbrush was also going, I think, as well.
Kind of.
It was a very well loved and used brush.
That's true. Rogue Saber says, I wanted to try a Suha eventually with a red color shift. And we're gonna go silent for a second.
Today.
Yeah. Like, I think I could deal with it if it was a little less often. This amount of it.
Yeah, it didn't do it a single time last. There's no way that it is the laptop or the connection. It has to be the actual unit itself.
It is something. Something's up with it.
So it might just be a weird unit.
But is Suha a character we're not aware of? It's Sujoah.
I'm gonna Google it. That's what I do best. Sujoah. Oh, I see. I think it's a bug. It's the big fly.
Oh, okay. It's a part of Aquila's alliance, so we're too poor to own it.
It's the giant fly monster that for the longest time, every time I saw it, thought it was a custom and thought it was fake.
Every time I look at the pricing for those units, I cry a little bit. It's like, I wouldn't mind having those, but yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to spend that kind of money to have them.
Listen, and the next step is to do a little bit of a thinner paint doing the shading. And if I try to do a thinner paint that is more liquidy and this is not dried enough, it'll pull the paint up. I made that mistake once.
I was about to say, oh, we can get out the heat gun, and but that would be a bad idea with foam, wouldn't it?
It would be a horrible idea.
Yeah. I've learned.
I have to reshape it again.
Yeah, I've learned that not all problems solutions are heat gun.
Much as you may try.
A little bit of an embarrassing story is me trying to convince Rowan that why do you need to buy a hairdryer when we have a heat gun? Yeah. I was like, they basically do the same thing. Yeah, that's the response I got. And I'm not I might be a little crazy, but my rationale was that okay, he can get a lot hotter than a hair dryer, right? But ours has the little dial on the back that allows you to change the temperature from like no just air to hot. So I was like, just don't like we could do a little notch on there. I was like, don't go past this point or your hair will catch on fire. I told you it was an embarrassing story for me, and now you're mad at me for telling it. Like,
oh yeah, it brought back up all the thoughts and feelings of when you first suggested, because he came to me seriously, like it wasn't a joke. He genuinely thought this was a good idea, and I was like, Adam, this is how you take me to the hospital with third-degree burns. If I was dumb enough to do it.
Do you actually think that you would sit there long enough to get third-degree burns?
I mean, depending on the heat, it can happen very quickly. And then if, like, again, if the hair ignites, because it can, right? How quickly can you put that out? And then it's still, the heat is still there. Just because the actual heat implement is not there and the hair is not on fire does not mean that the burning process has stopped. It is still burning. I went to EMT school, so didn't stop me from burning myself with hot glue.
Yeah.
See, the hot glue touched my pinky for like 3 seconds and I had blisters.
Are you vibing with this music, or is it not as good as the corporate vibes?
You know, it's not quite elevator music. But it's good.
Because when we brought up Akila's Alliance, there is I want from Akila's Alliance, I want the Jandar Zetacron. Yeah.
See, I almost got you Zetacron for our anniversary, but then I went with the repulsors instead because you like tiny robots.
I think having all of them would be fun to field.
I want to get all the dragons right now.
Yeah, I'm on the hunt for dragons because we want to participate in ScapeCon's dragon
army battle,
which doesn't have the dragons that we need out, or the army list, so we don't know what to buy to make sure that we have.
So you just buy all the dragons.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to buy all the dragons. Plus, I don't know if we want to play the same army, so we might have to buy multiple of certain dragons. Because I don't think there's probably overlaps in armies with the dragons.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think there's that many. I think there's with the actual tag dragon, if I remember correctly, there's only like 10 or 11 when I looked it up.
Do you remember like when my dad would sort all of his figures and he'd line everything up and there'd be like 4 mem rings in a row, and he refused to put the wings on because for whatever reason his wings, they'd all fall.
Yes, that's why they tell you not to
remove them once you put them on.
Remove them on, which I wonder if that was a problem with first edition mem rings. Is that if you took the wings off, there's maybe something in the design that caused them to get loose. Because our second edition mem ring does not have, like, it's as tight as the first day we got it.
We take the wings off. You can't stop me.
we take the wing off because
whoever wrote that rule didn't think about storage.
Yeah, it's.
I think everybody takes the wings off their dragons.
Which is, if Rogue is still around, have you done much assembly and disassembling of? Now you have enough, so now I can't think of what the name is. And now Zenithal's coming through my head. Zenithrax. Okay. Oh, Tails has offered if we need to borrow a dragon, I can let you borrow from what I have.
Well, that is very kind. Thank you.
Yes. If, yeah. I think that's very kind of you. And yeah. Did you? Yeah, it's not dry yet.
Luckily, it didn't put too much of a thumbprint. I've done that before, where I'll just be like, it's dry, and then just leave a whole fingerprint in a cape of a character.
No, man.
Fabrics are my favorite to paint. Capes are so fun to paint.
I painting fabrics is fun. I do not enjoy dyeing fabrics from the one time that I had to do it with you.
What did we dye? Oh, was it for the Riddler cosplay?
Yeah.
I did a Riddler Sailor Moon cosplay, so it was like Riddler in the style of Sailor Moon. And we had to dye the bow. It was awful.
Yeah. Rogue says not much. Have kept it together pretty well. Signing off. Bye. Okay.
Oh,
bye. But so I for Zenithrax. Zenithrax. I hope that the way that it holds together is you're able to pull it apart and put it together. Because I don't think we're gonna go silent for a second. I think the storage solution that we currently have would be able to accommodate the dragon without it being torn into pieces.
Sorry. Don't mind me. Please do not expose my horrible painting ways.
What is your horrible painting way?
I don't know, but somebody could yell at me.
Rogue is gone. The person to judge is no longer
Other
here.
people paint as well. I know that I do things wrong, and I don't need people to tell me.
Well, the person who's like known for his painting content is gone. We'll look at your lemonade bottle and the things.
My baking sheet
your baking sheet of things.
Because I took the baking sheet when I made the so the studs are actually polymer clay, you know, oven baked clay. So I had to have the baking sheet, and I just kept the same baking sheet and parchment paper throughout the several different batches I've had to do. Because everything has rivets.
Yeah.
Everything of hers has rivets. Did you ever hear of glue?
This is is this the first cosplay that you've done that's required baking as a part of the process?
I mean, that's an interesting way to put it, but I think so, yeah.
Rowan, this is the baking clay that you got that made Gigi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rowan made me a Gigi figure out of the polymer clay. That's really cute.
Gigi is in the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes.
It's over there.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't stand up.
No, it falls over. But
it was like the first thing that I made.
But it's very cute.
Sorry, this is one of the parts that I very easily go overboard with, is this shading here. So I try to be very careful with it. Just some, you know, grime where grime would be, basically. Oh no. It's okay, I fixed it, I think. I didn't. It'll be fine. I went in too liquidy, that's the issue. But yeah, just some shadows and some...
You want to pull your mic down a little bit?
No. You remember the whole thing I said about, like, painting is mindless and I can just talk while painting? Detail work is something completely different.
That is true.
The detail work on the pouches was just, you know, edging, doing edges and stuff, but this is something that is so easy. In my opinion, like, it is so much easier to overwhelm with the shades than it is with the highlights.
Yeah.
Like, it is so easy to overwhelm. And on my the shoulder pads that I did, I repainted the shading like 4 times. Like I repainted them so many times because I was never happy with it. I'm not good with like organic, you know, trying to make it not uniform. I'm not good with that. I'm, you know, like I remember one time I did like try to do like a paint splatter on something, and I just couldn't do it. I could not create a random blob, and I don't know why. The rivets are always the scariest part.
The most frustrating thing for me in art is that I feel like, you know, when people talk about they have different layers, what is that? Like internal vision, your mind's eye, where you can think of things as like black and white pictures or, you know, color images or a 3D model. Like I have the ability to visualize in my mind like 3D models of things that are colored and fully rendered. Like I can just think about them and like they're in my mind. But when you ask me, oh, can you translate that to the like real world out, like I have no way or the skill to actually bring it into reality.
Yeah. See, that's the funny thing is I'm not good at visualizing. I can't visualize because that's why for me like cosplay is easier to do because I'm not creating anything new. I'm making a replica. All right. The piece has been set in front of me and I just have to do it to the best of my ability of what it already, you know. I'm not creating anything new. I did some mural painting back when I was a little younger, right? That was difficult. Coming up with the idea, I can't do. Just tell me what to do and I can find a way to do it. Not saying I'll be good at it. I will find a way to make myself do it. See, my favorite thing about doing like when I did the gauntlets and the shoulder pads is like it looks so one note and boring right now, but as soon as you add the lighter color on the trim and it just pops to life.
Yeah. Oh, there was a and I wish I had thought about this and knew about it sooner. Gen Con actually had a cosplay, not Gen Con, Origins had a cosplay competition.
And?
I don't know.
If you thought for even a single solitary second I would beat Jen out.
Oh, I don't know if Jen went there.
I literally showed you her cosplay.
Oh, was that for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Danger Angel cosplay, she has got years and years and years on me.
Yeah.
Also, again, there was no way I was getting this from my Origins.
Well, yeah.
I could have if I...
If we started live streaming earlier.
If I just gave up everything else in my life. I also had rehearsals going on. And I was just... Like, if I could have just sat down and focused and done it, but... Like I said, that would have been a lot. Stop looking at the back.
I can't help it. You keep on showing it off to the camera.
Put the camera somewhere else. That was a joke. So the top piece up here is still wet, so I'm not going to be able to do any detail work with it until it dries, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Because I gotta do it. Like, these pieces in general are so much more fun than the pouches, but more fun comes with
more
work.
Responsibility.
with great fun comes great responsibility. Right?
Yeah.
I just hit my head on the microphone again. I mean, no, I didn't. The, like, this part, the weathering and all of that is always my favorite part.
The kind of detail work.
Mm-hmm. I, for a while, like, when I was doing miniatures, totally stopped using washes.
Yeah.
Because it did all the work for me. You know, I wanted to get in there and do the shading and the highlighting and...
There is something to be said about, like, doing a miniature without a wash, right? It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but you can get some really crisp shading where washes will washes have the ability to muddy a figure in a way that you didn't really want it to be muddied.
Washes are also a hard thing to learn correctly. Not a hard thing to learn correctly, but like easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah.
And I have done many a washed figure, many an unwashed figure, dirty figure. I think that there are definitely times that I've just thrown on the wash because I was being lazy. And there were times that I didn't think I would be able to get in the detail that I wanted to do on my own, so I would just use the wash. And sometimes I just liked using the washes. Now we really learned to paint from it was a Twitch streamer painter, Zombie Brush Studios is where we learned. Basically, he taught us, and he does like a really cool art style. Like it's a very, very cool matte, comic booky, almost cartoony. It's a really cool painting art style, and it is so hard to do. I have done one piece that is similar to it. Cuberto, actually.
Yep.
That is the one piece that I was able to do similarly to how he does it. And I'll give him props. He's a great painter. But with great painting, like, those people have put in the time.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill.
I hated the time that him and I both painted the same figure, or my Deadpool figure.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I was so happy with mine, and then I saw his, and I was like, gonna throw mine away now.
Yeah, he bought that just for...
No, it was John's.
Oh, was it John?
It was the store manager's.
Ah, yes. I thought he bought it just because Deadpool. Because why don't you want to have Deadpool?
Oh, no, John bought it off of him.
Oh.
He bought it so that he could paint Deadpool because he loved Deadpool. And then John bought it off of him because it was impossible to get that unmatched piece.
Yeah.
Because that one is so rare. You could sell it for like $200 now.
Well, now. Then the market wasn't so high.
It was like $30, I think. For
Which is, I think, was a markup even then.
It was more expensive than the other stuff. Yeah, like there was a single run of it. They don't,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was so close to buying a Bruce Lee. So close.
Apparently he's not a good figure.
Bruce Lee? I thought Bruce Lee was fine. I played, Brian had a Bruce Lee figure. Brian was a,
He was a very nice person, but he was a very competitive person, and when you first meet him in the context of playing this game that he liked, he was very intense. But he was very, very nice once you got out of that context.
He was very kind. My favorite memory is I was playing an unmatched game against him, and like we were getting down to the bottom of our decks. And if you're not aware of what a unmatched is a it has the movement of like HeroScape, and I've heard somewhere that actually one of the designers of HeroScape actually worked on an Unmatched as well. So there's a little bit of heritage there, I believe. You'd have to correct me if I'm wrong. So the movement is you're on a board with circles, and your action abilities are actually contained within a deck of cards, and you draw cards on your turn, and you play your actions from your hand. But one of these action cards that most decks have is called a feint, and what the feint does is it's able to cancel your opponent's abilities on their cards. So we were down pretty low, and he's like, he knew the game well enough that he knew what was in my deck. Like, I didn't even know what was in my deck, but somehow he knew that I had like a feint and X amount left. So he's like, what are he's like doing the mental calculation in his head to, does this guy have the feint card, and is he going to play it as because feints are you have attack and defense cards and versatile cards, and a feint is a versatile card. But so I didn't, and like most games with Brian, I lost. But they were fun. Those were fun times.
That's not what I meant at all by that symbol.
Yeah. So I think we're coming out like almost on the 2-hour mark. So I think this is going to be us signing off. Thanks for everyone who's joined us for this painting session and talk and chill and fun. We hope to be doing more. But until next time.
See ya. You turned the camera to me and then waved.
I didn't.